Hello. Hey, Jill.
Hi, Kimberly. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Fabulous. Can't
Great.
complain. It's getting
Ha-
sunny and warm and
yeah. Happy Friday, right?
yeah. Woohoo.
Well, thank you, everyone. Hello to everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today on this beautiful Do As We Do Friday. We're here every Friday. Just so y'all know, we're going live with the caregiver topic that we hope will bring value to the audience. Do As We Do is a nonprofit that was started first to financially, emotionally, and mentally support unpaid family caregivers, as well as get caregivers having a conversation around what if you live and you don't die? What's your plan? So I have my co host and friend Jill here. Hi.
Hi. Still
to,
alive.
yeah, help me break down our topic for today. And we're going to be talking about getting our loved ones ready in the morning.
Such a fun thing.
Yeah, especially when they have dementia, right?
Yep. That's what makes it a ride.
It does. Absolutely. Um, so we are live on Facebook, actually now Twitter, on the Do As We Do Twitter, on YouTube, both Jill's YouTube channel and Do As We Do YouTube channel. So wherever you're watching from, make sure you hit that notification so you know when we go live on Friday, as well as if you watch it on the replay, put hashtag where you watched it from. And if you have a question for us, please leave it in the comments. And better yet, if you're a caregiver that wants to come on and share your story, we'd love to have you. Please, let us know as well. And yeah, we can kick off our conversation. And if you find this live valuable, please share it with another family caregiver and spread the word. So let's jump into our topic about getting your loved one ready. 12 tips for getting your loved one ready in the morning, especially if they have dementia,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So
So,
while we were, oh, sorry, go ahead. So
no, go
while
ahead.
we were brainstorming this, I was thinking we were going to come up with 5 or 6 tips, but we just kept thinking of things because there's so much to keep track of. And honestly, some people don't have any problem with the morning routine. It's the bedtime routine that's challenging for them. So we hope this applies to you in some way. And even if it
Yeah.
doesn't, be sure and share it to other caregivers because the morning routine can be pretty
Yeah.
sketchy for
We'll
some of
have,
us.
we'll have to do one on the nighttime routine
Yeah.
for sure. Cause I know that it's definitely, um, as my mom's gotten older, she used to just pop out of bed, and obviously, and sometimes she does, but very rarely now. She doesn't. It definitely takes some coercing. She's always like, "What are we doing today? Can I just lay in bed?" No, you can't. Very bad for you, mom.
Yeah.
So, number one for my mom, for me, I have make sure that I have give her a purpose for that day, like what's going on, like whether it's she's going to go and go grocery shopping with with the her full time caregiver that's always there, or her play tennis, or she's got going to meet a group of her friends for lunch. Um, I make sure that that's the first thing we talk about in the morning.
And along with that, I just want to add that if you do have a purpose for the day that's something unpleasant that you think your loved one might rebel about, like a doctor's appointment
Yeah.
or some medical test or a visit with a family member they don't particularly like, you can, instead of bringing that up at all, you
Uh-huh.
can have the purpose be something they do like. And since you don't want to lie to them, even though they might forget anyway, if you give them a purpose that they do like, and then as you get in the car or as you're driving along, oh, and by the way, we're going to do this other thing really quick first, and then we're going to go get ice cream or whatever.
Yeah.
That works really well.
Wrap it with something fun, an
Yeah.
incentive of sort.
Yeah. The purpose needs to be something they want.
Yes, for sure, 100%. Um, on number two, we thought of the routine, right? Like for my mom, the first thing she does is she has to go to the potty, right? And then we get her changed, and she brushes her teeth and combs her hair. And so that's, depending on if her pup is awake, she knows that once she comes out of the bathroom, we're gonna go take her pup for a walk.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
definitely, the routine of, and then we go into breakfast, right? Like, so that she's not just laying there or just sitting there. I try to make it an everyday, so she just knows, especially when she looks at her pup, like, oh, now we got to go for a walk.
Yeah. And it might be good to remind her frequently during the routine about the routine, her or him. So this is what we do next, kind of a thing. And if there's any rebellion about that, then you can do another part of the routine first and then circle back. Sometimes people don't even know who you are in the morning or ever during the day. And so you can just say, oh, well, she's gone for right now, but she let me know that this is what we're going to do next, because this is what we do each morning. So just like never get in an argument with your loved one, just circle back or let them know that so-and-so isn't there right now. Don't tell her that her husband has died 5 years ago, because it might be it's the first time she remembers hearing it, and it will be too sad. So yeah, just kind of keep it light and happy.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of happy, the next number 3 would be humor, for sure. Like, it gets some, I find that playing some upbeat music in the morning, or playing some Golden Girls, it definitely, while she's getting ready, or if she's having, once she has sat back down, just any kind of laughter definitely switches her, the mood.
Yeah. Cool. And since sometimes it's really hard for our loved ones in certain stages of dementia, the later stages, to comprehend humor, if we revert back to humor from childhood, one thing that I noticed is that people with dementia really enjoy cartoons. They enjoy knock-knock jokes from, when they were 10 or potty humor. Some of them really, really get off on, just talking about potty, diapers and poop and
weird stuff.
Yeah. They're just like 10-year-olds or 3-year-olds or whatever their stage is. And so don't hesitate to insert, if they're not getting the more sophisticated humor, just insert that banana joke, or why did the chicken cross the road kind of a thing, and
make it simple.
Really, yeah,
for sure. The next one, number 4, were choices. Choices when it comes to what they eat, especially from choices when it comes to what they wear. 2 choices, like a purple dress or a blue sweater, but giving them choices already matched up, so they don't have to think about anything, I found has really helped my mom and me time-wise.
And yeah, what they're going to have for breakfast, especially if they aren't a person that eats the same thing every day. If they like variety and they like to choose and they like certain things, then you can give them choices that will inspire them to get out there and get some breakfast.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Angie.
Oh, hello,
Glad
Laura.
to see you guys, you ladies.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so I'm going to let you take number 5, the if-then wording.
Oh, yeah. So, and Angie, thank you for chiming in with, thanks for words of encouragement. And if you have any questions, or if you have like a different situation that you want to ask about, like, what about this? And I've tried that and it doesn't work. And so, we can totally brainstorm with you here and try to figure out what can help you. So the if-then statements, if we only take 10 minutes to, brush our teeth and, go to the bathroom, then breakfast will still be warm. So just little things to encourage someone to not hurry, but to just stay focused or to realize that there's an end in sight. Many people with dementia either are terrified or of showers and baths, or they don't remember that they haven't had one for a few days. They don't smell themselves anymore. And they, there's just no reason in their head that they should have to undress and hop in that cold, or warm hot. Up the bathroom, whatever it is. If we can get you undressed right now, then the bathroom, then it'll still be warm in here for your shower, or, whatever. So if then statements when somebody's reluctant can really help.
100%. We negotiate with my mom all the time. And it's usually if she's going to be going, like, we try to encourage her by telling her that, what her plans are. Like, especially if she's going to see other people, she's absolutely down to get a shower, but if she thinks it's just her and I, or just her and the caregiver and the pup, she's like, I don't need a shower. I'm like, kind of do. So we definitely try to encourage her in that way. Early on, this is number 6 that we brainstormed, but early on, she always had we would run through her calendar the night before and talk about what she had going on, because she'd write everything in a calendar on the date. So we would focus like, what's tomorrow, what's going on, and then she'd look at it, right? So we kind of,
that's amazing.
Plan ahead. So we don't keep track of the calendar anymore. However, a whiteboard is great. You mentioned, or even I saw this young lady on TikTok, and she said, instead of like highlight the actual date, put so that they know that that's what that day, today is this day, instead of, because they're, it's focused on that one day instead of just putting it in the calendar, because that's
really good.
Yeah. So focusing on that, what exact is this Friday, May the 6th, right? So, and this is what's happening on Friday, May the 6th.
Yeah. Think kindergarten, first grade. And you can even, talk about the weather when you talk about your plans, and you can talk about, progress with something that's going on in your life, a move, or somebody's coming in such and such a, amount of time, if she's anticipating anything.
Yeah.
I keep saying she, but we have he's too. So, yeah.
And you mentioned something about some sort of sensory or favorite sensory stimulation.
Yes. So
music earlier, but I think the number 7, sensory stimulation.
Yeah, most people know how it feels to wake up and smell coffee or bacon cooking or whatever. Some favorite things are an orange, a peeled orange. Just really wakes up the senses and can get your taste buds and your hunger pangs going. It's just such a lovely smell, or whatever smell that your loved one really likes. So those kinds of things can encourage someone to want to get up and go see what's for breakfast or what's going on today. And not just taste and smell, but touch, pets. And I think that might be one of our points later. I don't remember, but pets are really good to hand your loved one, a dog or a cat or whatever. Let's go check on the fish. Let's, see what's going on, with something like that. And then, so the touch, taste, smell, and sounds, like Kimberly said, the, beautiful music. There's certain types of music that are very calming and relaxing. And also sometimes people will just respond really well to a favorite type of music.
Yeah.
My
mom likes Chubby Checker.
Yeah. My grandpa didn't have dementia, but I have the fondest memories of pretty much my whole life of getting up every morning to the sunrise, because grandpa had on his country music and he was always willing to dance with me in the kitchen. My grandparents helped raise me. And so yeah, that was just the fondest memory for me was and I don't even like country music. I didn't then and I don't now, but I loved being in the kitchen dancing with my grandpa. It was so much fun. So yeah, those memories, those sensory things that help us connect with the real world and things that we are familiar with and we love and enjoy, those can really help to get somebody going in the morning.
Yeah, for sure. Number 8, you were talking about the line of sight and normal speaking range.
Yes. So with dementia, it's really common for people's, all parts of our brain can be affected, and not all parts necessarily are, but a common thing that happens with people with dementia is that their line of sight just gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So there's this little, like they're looking through the eye slits of a costume or something. And so it's really important to get in front of the person and not stand to the side and make them have to turn their head and look at you, but get right in front and then, do something to get them to look at you. Just, make a little noise or say their name. Most people love to hear their name as long as it's, in a loving way.
Yeah. Soft in the morning.
Mom, look at me. So we want to be kind and we want to make sure we're in their line of sight.
Okay. That's good to know.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's good information. That's really good to know.
And speak clearly, number 1. And if they say what, it's probably because they didn't process it. Unless you know they have a hearing deficit and they don't have their hearing aids in.
Yeah.
It probably is not what be louder. It's probably what I didn't quite process that yet. So what you want to do is say the same thing exactly like you just said it, not louder, not slower, just normally, so that there's no difference in what you just said, so that it just gives them time to process. And if you say it again and maybe 3 times, if they're still not getting it, look at what you're saying. Maybe you need to simplify, because if you're saying, Mom, let's get out of bed and go brush our teeth, maybe we just need to say, let's get up. Like simple, really simple words, instead of a big long sentence sometimes makes all the difference in whether somebody can respond and process what you're asking.
That's good to know. So don't automatically assume that they well, one, if they're not hard of hearing, maybe you should get their hearing checked, but don't just assume that they're, that they can process it that quickly, especially not anymore. They need some time. And like you said, simple is better for sure.
Simple is better. Yeah. As a physical therapist, there was a lot of times that I would find myself and my coworkers saying, roll over and scoot over and put your feet on the floor. And then we're going to stand up and you're going to sit over here in this wheelchair. And that's just like, huh? And whereas if we just say, come sit here, like, oh, okay. That makes so much more sense. And people, if you give them such simple instructions, they will do more for themselves. And that's another tip that we're going to talk about in a minute, is letting them do for themselves.
Yeah. I definitely learned that my mom, it's okay that she, folds her own, like I do the laundry, but I have her help me fold it. Right. But giving her that activity in the morning, something to do to help me get her going, was definitely, or if she's going to tie her shoes, let her, make sure that they're on properly, but then she ties her shoes, she combs her hair, she brushes her teeth.
Yes.
And I just watch her, observe her, make sure that it's, because if I'm not in there when she starts, she'll tell me she's brushed her teeth and I know she hasn't. Right?
Yep.
It's definitely, I have a friend, and in fact, she just said, great information. Yes, Deb. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Deb.
She's always, we joke, but it's hashtag, I'm a new parent. I don't have any children. I have nieces and nephews and I have taken care of them and friends' children, but this is a different, it feels definitely like I am a new parent because I'm learning, and because she can be so childlike, sometimes I have to remember that. And it's a new experience for sure.
Yeah.
Roles have changed.
Yep.
So observe them. Don't assume that they still know how to do it. Don't do it for them. As long as they can do those little things that are super important. Like when you told me about brushing the hair, I didn't realize how important that was, right? For them.
Yeah. Brushing their hair is one of the best ways for anybody as we age to maintain that shoulder flexion, and also the dexterity of your hand and your wrist, the range of motion of all of that whole chain from your neck to your fingers. If we do it for them, then they just get stiff and weak, and they can't even reach up to wash their hair or touch their face. And then pretty soon they can't even feed themselves. So
make sure we give them direction. Key. You kind of mentioned it lightly, but you talked about keeping the conversation minimal, and don't over talk. Talk over them, I should say, right?
Yeah. So if it's just you and your loved one, make sure that every part of your getting ready routine is directly about them. So you don't want to be chatting about all kinds of things if it's going to confuse them. If they want to chat, then definitely chat. And, again, that kind of depends on the stage. But it's really common for us as caregivers to just because, we're
not thinking about it. Yeah.
Thinking aloud and stuff, because that's how we are. And especially if we love the person and we have, stuff that we want to talk about. But during certain activities like the morning routine and the evening routine, keep the chatter to a minimum. If there's two caregivers helping each other, it's so tempting to talk above them about the person that you're caring for. Hand me her slippers, please, and do this and do that, or just talking about, your plans for tonight or whatever it is, talking about your kids. Keep all that chatter just to a minimum so that the person feels like they're the center of your attention.
And they're included.
Yeah, like they're included. Yeah, you can talk to them if they want to talk about themselves. Ask them, how they feel about this, or like Kimberly was saying, the choices about, you can make choices the whole time you go. Do you want to wear your brown shoes, your black shoes? Do you want to wear nylons? Do you want to, stuff?
Yeah. So. Choices, and keeping it simple. And the number one tip is pack that patience, because I know that when I know it's so unpredictable, like, having a plan the night before, but the later stages, I've definitely found that sometimes that plan is just thrown out the window, and I have to be ready to roll with it. At the same time, I have to go slower. So I know that, because when I am in a hurry or I'm frustrated, she senses it, she feels it, she gets frustrated with me. And it's almost like, because I am her daughter, she's like, you're not going to tell me, like, I'm not on your schedule. You know what I mean? It's almost like, so I found that I definitely give myself enough time, so that way I'm not rushing her. And even if it's so like important, if I have to creep around really quietly so that I don't wake her up, and I get up and get ready, have my coffee, have my quiet time, do whatever I need to do before she gets going. If, like on the weekends, or if the caregiver is coming in later, then that's what I do, because I have found that it gives her anxiety when I'm in a rush, or, I'm pushing her along.
It's a dignity thing. If you're in a rush, the person feels this tall, especially if you're putting their safety or their comfort in jeopardy because of you being in a hurry. If you're rushing the wheelchair around the corner and their toe comes this close to the wall, they're going to be like, don't do that. And in the facilities, Yeah, in the facilities that I've worked in, the state has rules here in Utah anyway that you can't back a patient up in the wheelchair
Wow.
because that's not dignified. And at first I thought, oh, brother, now what? But really, people don't want to be dragged backwards. If you have to just turn around, you can back them up for a few feet, but you don't want to bring them down the hall, dragging them backwards, or in your home, even if if it's a safety issue, then definitely drag them backwards. But, just try to make sure that they feel like you care about their feelings. And you can't manage their feelings, but they will sense, like Kimberly said, that if you're in a hurry, that they're somehow a burden to you. And that's just so undignified for people to have to feel like that.
Yeah, 100%. And for my mom, she gets frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And it's ironic that she gets upset with me because I'm like, I get this fast speed from you.
Yeah.
Like, I run fast because
that
is just how my mom was, like, always like, move with a purpose. Let's get going. Why are you walking so slow? So now we kind of make jokes out of it. And I definitely find myself, like I'll say something, and when I catch myself that if I'm in a hurry, and so I try to slow down, and I'm like, okay, mom, and if there's something that she won't do, and I know it's bad because it will, like, say she wants to wear some pair of shoes that I know she's going to slip in or not safe. I was like, you're going to call APS on me, Adult Protective Services. I'm not going to put those on you. I'll go to jail. Like, we kind of, like, I tongue in cheek that, but at the same time, or I'm not going to let you drive, mom. She now doesn't drive at all, but she used to. Our thing was like, okay, mom, that's what I'm here for. We're your chauffeur, and I don't want to be put in jail for you driving because you've been diagnosed, and if something happens. So we definitely, I try to communicate in that way with her too.
Yeah, and if you can kind of keep it light a little bit like that, like this is just how it is, but kind of not make a big deal out of it, but also just, that humor, like Kimberly was saying earlier on, just keep it friendly and real.
For sure. Yeah. Dignified. We all want to, we all want to be respected and seen and loved and treated,
Yeah.
With dignity. And that's the biggest, I think, missing. People don't get that when they're talking to their loved one. Like, that's what it really comes down to. We just need to.
Yeah. I think a lot of people just don't realize.
Yeah. They're not, I don't feel a lot. Sometimes they're not doing it on purpose, but
right.
The way it comes across, it makes the patient, the person with dementia feel like they're, being spoken to in a disrespectful way.
Yeah, I think so. What kind of helps me when I'm working with my dad or with a patient is that I just pretend like that person is completely all together upstairs and they just have a broken leg. And I talk to them like that because it's so easy to talk down to somebody with dementia because they are acting like a 3-year-old because they can't, do all the things that they maybe did intellectually and emotionally and physically like they used to do. But just remember that person is an adult and that person has, made the world a better place and they just deserve all the respect in the world. And so pretending like they're all together upstairs, but they just have, an owie on their finger or something. You just need to, help them along, but you're not like bossing them around or rushing them or whatever.
100%. Patience, patience, patience.
Yes.
Thank you, Laura, for saying so. Yes, Jill has a wealth of knowledge for sure.
Thanks,
and experience Laura. For 100%. But those are our 12 tips for getting your loved one up and going. But the number, we probably should have put number 1 was patience.
With yourself too.
100. Yes. Well, I think first with yourself, you definitely, I found when I took more breaths and know that, like, it's okay that it didn't work out it didn't go exactly how I thought it was in my head should be. My life got a lot easier. and
Yeah, for sure.
and always having a plan B, because and being okay with if no plan happened the way it was supposed to happen, right? Like
Yeah, being flexible.
flexible
Yeah.
is very, very important, because you'll definitely, as the caregiver, you don't want to beat yourself up. You want to keep it as upbeat and positive as humanly possible for your loved one.
Yeah. And unless it's a matter of, safety,
Mm-hmm.
just let the plan go by the wayside
Mm-hmm.
if it's just not working out,
Yeah.
rather than, beating yourself up or infringing on the dignity and care of your loved one.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Well, we appreciate everyone for joining us. If you have a tip that you get your loved one up with, please share it in the comments. Let us know. We would love to hear that. If you have a question for Jill or myself, please leave it. We'll definitely get back to you. If you watch on the replay, make sure you let us know where you're watching from. And if you have a story you want to share, we'd love to have you on. And if you found it valuable, please share it with someone. Jill, you got anything else?
I think I'm about talked out. Thank you so much. Oh, be kind. Laura said be kind. Very
yes.
good. And
hashtag be kind. 100%.
And she also said Mom is right with you, Kimberly. That's great.
Yes. So thank you again. We will be here next Friday. Maybe we'll talk about the nighttime routine. That is definitely very important, right?
We've got some stories.
Yeah, consecutively. So, but remember, again, it's not about if you die, but it's about if you live. Do you have a plan? And if so, have you talked to your loved one about it? Because it's super important, and you don't want to just throw them into becoming a caregiver overnight. It's no fun.
Yeah.
So thank you all again. Thank you, Jill, for joining me. I appreciate you so much.
Thanks for hosting this, Kimberly.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you guys next Friday.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.